HawkFanatic.com is brought to you by Patrick Eads and his great staff at Deary Brothers Ford on Mormon Trek, Steve Anderson, Hawkeye Title and Settlement, Mike's E-Keys for Cars, GT Car and his crew at Supple's Building and Remodeling, Supple's Flowers, the home of 1-800-800-ROSE, the Midtown Family Restaurants, Diamond Dream Sports Academy, Senior Benefits, Premier Automotive in North Liberty, the Ox Yoke Inn in the Amanas, Streets Maintenance, Dr. Lance Forbes, Diamond Dental in Cedar Rapids, and Big Dog Tech Solutions. Here's Tom Suter, and from HawkFanatic.com, Pat Harty.
Thank you, Captain Steve.
You're very welcome.
For that wonderful introduction.
It was wonderful, wasn't it?
I feel warm and fuzzy inside every time I hear it.
I feel I got a terrible cold.
Do you?
Terrible what?
Yeah, I got
Cold?
a cold.
Ugh. Why are you here?
Oh, I got a cold.
What, you can give it to. Although I got my flu and COVID shot yesterday.
I got mine the other day, and now I got a cold.
Well, there's no cold shots as far as I know.
No,
They did have pneumonia shot as an option. I didn't take that.
I didn't do that.
I think I've done that.
Yeah,
I've never done
I think
that.
I had that in March. I had that in March.
If they tell me to take a shot, I'll do her.
Yeah,
I got mine. They didn't tell me to take any. They my doctors always just said COVID and flu. Well, shingles.
Yeah,
Have you had your shingles shot?
I have.
Yeah, I've had two.
No.
I had mine a while ago.
I have not had mine.
And I was told that they hurt and nothing for me.
Nothing.
I had no
They're
reaction.
excruciating.
Yeah, I had no reaction at all.
My nurse said, I can give you this, but you're going to be in pain for a month.
She said that about a shingles shot?
No.
Oh, but yeah, no, I heard some people say stuff like that, though.
No,
I didn't have any reaction to it.
my insurance wouldn't cover it, and it's like
Yeah,
way expensive.
I didn't realize that they had reneged on that. Remember, originally someone under 65 couldn't get a COVID shot, but I didn't realize that because I went there just to get a flu shot, and I'm like, so what's up with COVID? And they're like, no, they're good now. The pharmacist explained to me. And it was interesting. The girl who gave me the COVID, she literally looked 15. I mean, I couldn't believe how young. Super nice, got me in and out of there. I mean, I didn't feel either one. That's what's crazy about shots. As a little kid, I know you're a little kid. Shots used to hurt. Back in the day, 30, 40, 50 years ago, they used to hurt. Now, it's like barely someone even pinching.
Yeah.
You just don't feel it. It's crazy.
I don't know how they've gotten better at it.
I'm sure glad they have.
I don't know. I didn't feel.
I didn't even,
Yeah.
But as a kid, I remember taking shots. They hurt.
Well, they were bigger shots.
That's what I'm saying. Bigger, yeah. Now, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But I've...
You didn't get, though. You're too young. You got the gun, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I thought I recall that for something. But...
Come out with this
how
big
much did...
steel gun. And
What was that used for?
polio and measles.
So you're saying by the time I was eligible for polio, they had moved on to something else?
Yeah.
Okay, because, I mean, I got all those vaccinations, of
Moved
course.
on from a gun to a cannon.
Yeah. I mean, I'm up to date now on COVID. I know some people will make fun of me for that, but that's my
Yeah,
choice.
whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I'm up to date.
And I used to not get flu shots until I got into my 50s. And it's just, why not? They're free, and, I mean, it doesn't make any sense not to get one.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't to me.
And shingles, too.
Yeah.
And my insurance covered my shingles. I've had some people say that.
Insurance covered the first half, and then not the second half.
Yeah, I don't get that.
I had a great person give me the shot because I said, "Is this your first time?" And she goes, "Yeah, but you got to learn sometime."
Yeah, way to look at it. I mean, a pilot flies for the first time.
And it wasn't her first time. I mean,
but I'd rather have somebody giving you a shot than maybe somebody flying your airplane. But I guess a pilot has to start somewhere, too.
Well, they do.
Just like to maybe not be on that flight.
Yeah.
So,
They start on those little commuter.
Are you racing down to the noon Fox press conference with the?
I am not.
And then how about you're going to be over there tomorrow at the tailgate Fox thing, aren't you? At the Pentecost?
I'm going to pass.
Really?
I'm.
Captain, you'll be there, won't you?
No,
I'm kidding. I'm not covering this thing today. I just don't have time, and I mean, I'm sure the papers will be there, and I don't know. And I appreciated the invitation, but it'll be interesting to see. I believe they're doing some press availability and the Fox. It's Urban Meyer. Is it Mark Ingram? who else is part of the?
Honestly,
I don't know either because I don't watch it.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure it's Urban
the
Meyer.
USC quarterback
Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush used to be a part of it, but I don't think I think Mark Ingram is now the former Heisman Trophy running back that's on the, and I can't remember who's the actual media person that hosts it. But yeah, I haven't watched that. Or I watch Corso every once in a while, and then of course I did when he was getting ready to retire. But I've just not those pregame morning shows. When they first came out, I enjoyed them. 25, 30, 35.
Yes.
But now I never.
Now I don't.
Now I don't pay any attention to them. I just don't. But it'll be interesting to see how many. I have a feel. Well, the weather's not going to help.
No, it isn't.
Could you imagine if the weather was like this today, tomorrow? That would get a lot of people down there by that Pentecost.
It'd be great. The weather's not going to help that, and it's not going to help the game either.
No. What's the high tomorrow?
47.
Okay, that's still hanging in there enough to where we're not going to have to deal with any icy conditions during the game. It doesn't sound like. If it's going to get to 47, what's the low tomorrow night?
Mid-20s, 25,
okay.
25.
But that'll be probably midnight. By the time this game's over, sort of wish the game started at noon now, or
11
11,
yeah,
or even 11.
That'd be great if it had, but it doesn't.
It starts at 2:30, and
because that's going to be the warmest of the day at noon.
Noon's warmer than 2:30.
Yeah, at 5 degrees.
So what is it at noon tomorrow?
Bug says 48.
How about 5:30?
39.
Okay, so yeah, there's no. Okay, it's going to be wet, but it's not going to be.
What's your chances of precipitation on Bug? And then I'll tell you the weather service.
Starting when?
Tomorrow at noon.
Start at noon.
80%, and then 85% at 1, 75% at 2, then 65 at 3, 50 at 4, 35
so
at 5.
So it drops as the game progresses.
85% at 6.
Oh, back up a surge.
Well, all they do is give a 1 percentage, and it's 100%.
Who does that?
The National Weather
Well, that's
Service.
a little arrogant. There's no guarantee anything's
100%.
That's a guarantee, Mr. Harty.
What if it doesn't happen?
100%.
Which means
what don't you understand?
Yeah, it's going to
I get it, but there's a chance it may not happen.
Well, there's no chance it won't
according
happen.
According to
the
that.
weather.
All right.
Oh, what does Mace say?
I don't know.
He hasn't given.
They say will rain.
Yeah,
that sounds like it's going to rain.
Yeah.
Now it's
and
nice.
It's going to be cold.
I haven't heard anything about thunder. No lightning, no thunderstorm. I haven't heard anything about heavy winds. You can deal with rain. The people out in the stands. I feel for them, but that's their decision to be out there.
It's your decision to be out there, Suter.
I know. Oh, I'm becoming a wuss as I get older.
You'll be in that club area, won't you? Hiding underneath the.
I wish.
Oh, you don't have access to. Why aren't you and Ann in the club area?
Because we can't get there. There's no openings in the MediaCom ones.
Do they know who you guys are?
And I don't want to be in the. I'm not going to
go
buy.
over there and say, "Do you know who the hell I am?"
Drop my name.
So and I'm not going to be.
See what happens.
Drop Hunter's name and see if that can get you in there.
Yeah, it can.
Do you know what my wife has done for this university?
What about Lang? What about
Lang? How about Lang's dad?
Yeah, drop his.
There's a waiting list, and I can't. I can't get seats.
Lang's dad will get kicked out.
You think Lang's dad could help you get in?
No.
Move up the list?
No.
Hello.
Hello. Is any of this rain supposed to turn into snow?
Possibly.
At night, if it's raining in the 20s, isn't that snow?
Yeah. Yeah, it's at night.
But it's going to be in the 40s.
But isn't that after the game?
Yeah, it's going to be 40s during the game.
Yeah.
Well, too bad more of us don't have the to get into the press box.
Yeah.
Just break in.
And it's supposed to rain through the whole game.
It might.
Sounds like it. You should just try to break it. I'd like to see Weitzel throw you.
Drop Bravo Camp's name.
Yeah, see if that'll get you in. May get you a car now.
Who would this favor, this rain? Us or them?
I think it cancels out. Because Oregon's used to playing in preseason.
Oh, yeah. It rains all the time.
Yeah, so I don't think the weather's going to be annoying for everybody. But try to break into the press box car, and we'll see if you know Weitzel. You think
I'd like to.
You think you can get past Weitzel?
Oh yeah.
All right.
I know him.
I was joking. That'd be funny though to see you trying to get past Matt. But, yeah, it's going to be...
He's a big, tall guy.
Yeah, he's 6'9". He's always a good measuring stick when Iowa gets new basketball recruits, like at media day, to see how tall they really are. I just compare him to Weitzel.
Yeah.
It's great that way.
Yeah.
He's also a really good SID. He does a really good job.
He's a nice guy.
He's a nice guy, and he does a really good job.
Well, and all these nice days we've had indoor things like basketball and wrestling, and then when it gets bad, then we have to go outdoors.
Yeah. You got it.
Yep. Basketball tonight at 6. The Leathernecks.
The one thing about 6 is you get out early, but also a lot of people don't get there till late, so you're watching it, and they're all walking in.
Yeah, but I'm glad it's at 6 as opposed to 8 on a Friday.
Oh,
night.
for sure.
I mean, I could be out of there maybe by like 9:15, and then you have some of the night.
The only
left.
problem with 6 is you're running into the 5 o'clock people.
Yep.
While you're trying to get there, you're running into the people leaving.
Yeah,
Yep.
that is.
It is a problem.
But you deal with it.
Well, let's hope that the rain forgets where it's going.
100%. There's no chance, Captain.
100%.
It's going to rain.
It's going to rain.
Well, 100%. You never know. I've heard 100% before.
Well,
Not very often.
No, 100%. Are you questioning science?
Tell the
Is
rain
that-
gods to go get lost.
Karn, don't question science.
Oh, I do that all the time. I was going to talk about COVID shots. Now, when I got one, all it did is made my arm itch a little bit. But my brother got really sick.
I've heard of
And my
stories like
kid
that.
gets a hive so badly, they told him, don't go and get the COVID shot.
Yeah, I feel it feels like I got a slight little bruise. I can feel where the shots went in, but hardly at
Yeah,
all.
mine, I could feel a lump there, and it itched, and that's all I had.
Yeah.
I didn't even
But,
have that.
No lumps, no itching.
I had nothing,
Yeah, me either.
except now I got
But
a
I've
cold.
heard other people really
Shut your
reacting
door.
badly.
Some people
what do you
do.
think
No.
causes it? Is it the
Should
type of
I
your body or what?
should I shut our door so we can stay away from Captain's germs? Are you worried about his germs?
I'm not.
I'm not hugging him.
Well, no, but we're all breathing the same air.
Well, everybody has germs. There's germs everywhere.
Yep.
That's
Exactly.
true. Yep.
There were some people behind me at the wrestling that bought huge big bags of popcorn,
Yeah.
and when they left, the popcorn was still there. And they probably had one handful out of it. And some kid came by and picked it up and took it off and was eating it. And I thought, okay.
Oh God, could you imagine doing that? They could have had their feet
Anyway,
in there.
you guys have a good day.
You too.
Could you have imagined eating somebody else's popcorn? Like, would you guys do that?
Oh, let's share with Ann.
Well, yes, she's your wife. I mean,
Yeah.
that's I get that. Yes, but
I don't have a problem with
just
it.
popcorn laying on the floor of an arena.
Well, I mean,
How do you know what those people did to the popcorn?
it's popcorn.
Wow. All right.
Actually,
Free popcorn, back.
actually, at the last game,
Pea popcorn.
one of the guys in front of us had a big thing of popcorn. He shared it with us.
Oh, people shared popcorn
Yeah.
in the stands when I
Did you
went
just
to
dig
dinner.
your hand?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You lose me on that.
I'd run my sleeve across my nose.
Well, I'm
and then-
sure you do, and
then grab some.
pull a big granule out of there, and then hey, where's that popcorn?
Pull a graduate out of there.
All right. Oh, and hey, by the way, I picked the Hawks to win. 23-21. I wrote it yesterday, posted it about dinner time last night, and I got a couple. How can you see with your head? So but for the most part, I mean, I picked them to win. Now, if they lose, I'm not going to be surprised, but I still think they're going to lose next week. I'm going by my gut feelings. I think they're going to win tomorrow. But I said it all comes down to the offensive line. I mean, the offensive line to me is the biggest key to this game because if they can't run, they're finished. If Oregon can't run, I think they still have a chance. Iowa won't.
Yeah. Well, I think the way I look at it is if Oregon's A game is better than Iowa's A
Yes,
game.
but Iowa's A game is all predicated on being able to run the ball.
Yeah, that's true.
Oregon can do a lot of stuff in space where if something's not working, they can make up for it with an explosive play. Iowa can't really do that. And my concern is that Gronowski's not going to be able to run the ball, because he thinks they're going to have a shadow on him, unlike Penn State. But the key is getting second and 3 as opposed to second and 8 and 9. That's the key to this game. And that all comes down to the offensive line because we've seen they have enough running backs to where if they have any room to maneuver, they're going to be effective. It comes down to the offensive line. They've got 3 really, really good offensive linemen, 2 younger guys who have come on. And what I wrote was, again, I asked you, what is Kirk Ferentz's area of expertise?
Yeah, offensive
This
line.
is where I know they've got George Barnett, good coach. This is a week, though, where Kirk needs to dig deep in his reservoir of offensive line knowledge and emotion and firing up these guys. And that line, if it goes out and owns the line of scrimmage, I think they're going to win. So there we go. Now, if they don't, I could be wrong, too, because I've been wrong a couple times with picking Iowa. Actually, I'm wrong more times than I'm right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Iowa City's great white hope. It's Adam Haluska.
Oh,
all right. Well, good morning, Adam.
We kept Adam waiting.
Hey, good morning, guys.
How you doing, Adam? Iowa City's great white hope. I hadn't heard that one before.
and he doesn't live in Iowa City.
No, and he doesn't live in Iowa. He's Solon's great white hope.
Yeah.
So, how you been?
Pretty good. Been busy with work and kid stuff, and seems like it's crazy how fast basketball's kind of come around. I don't
really
know
is.
the weather. We've had a good fall, but it just seems like basketball's upon us.
How old are your
earlier
kids
and
now?
Earlier, so
How old are your kids now?
I've got a daughter who's 17, and then I've got 2 boys, 14, 11, and then a younger daughter who's 6.
A daughter who's 17.
17, 14, 11, and 6.
Interesting. That's kind of similar to what
we went to the Iowa men's game the other day, and Dolph was talking about last time we played Robert Morris. And I remember playing him, but he was like, 20 years ago, and kind of giving dates. And my wife looked at me, and she's like, does that make you feel old? I'm like, well, I got a 17-year-old in the back seat. So.
Yeah, imagine how we feel. I mean, you bring the age down.
It goes by quick, fellas.
Yeah, no,
it does.
It does.
My oldest daughter's 32, so you're a pup.
My granddaughter's going to be 20 in January.
My oldest nephew is 51. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, hoops. How much have you had a chance? Have you been? Did you go to the women's exhibition, to the women's first game? How much have you seen of them?
I've seen a little bit of the women, just through like Big Ten Plus.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be a fun team that's going to grow. Right?
I
There's
agree.
a lot of new faces.
Yeah.
You've got some girls in there that are, coming in and that transfer portal, and that's a lot of schools now, right? Like
Yes.
Everybody's trying to figure out who's who, who's got what, how are they going to play together. But I think it's going to be a fun year. I mean, you're going to see, Addie Deal, obviously a big name coming in. I think it's going to take her a little time to get her feet wet.
Yeah, you think she's pressing?
Adjustment.
You think she's pressing right now? I mean, because she hasn't played very well in either exhibition or the first game. She looks nervous.
I mean, I think part of it's just the flow, and it is a big jump. I mean, I remember, too, like, I don't care how big of a star you are, going from high school to Division I basketball, and you're playing with a lot of good talent.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a little time to figure out and to feel your way into kind of the offense. And even though you play with and against each other every day, you still got to have some chemistry. And where do I fit in on the offensive side? So,
and I think being a 5-star, yeah, everybody has such high expectations, and sometimes it just takes a little bit of time. What do you mean, Adam? I think Ava Hayden, her quickness in the post and her ability to run in transition, that separates her from a lot of post players. It separates her from a lot of past Iowa post players. How important? Yeah. And then she's 6'4". I mean, she looks like the real deal. It's still early. I don't want to get carried away, but what do you think about her so far?
No, I like the way she ended the year. I know we talked about that here on the radio. Towards that end of the season, she really closed that year strong, and she was a big part of some of those wins. I loved what I saw there, and you can tell she's carried forward a little bit of that confidence and momentum, and has continued to work hard. She is going to be that rim running that she loves to do.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard for some of these bigs to keep up, especially if she's well conditioned and can do that all game. You mix that in with everybody else that wants to run and get up the floor. I just think it could be, there could be some good things that come out of this year. However, the Big Ten is really good.
It is.
I mean, everybody is getting bigger and stronger, and but yeah, I think Jan's got to like what she sees so far. And again, it's super early. Just like last year, you're going to probably see, some games where they come out a little flat and maybe they don't compete well. But if we can continue to grow, kind of like the football team's doing, and you're playing your best ball at the end of the year, that's really what counts.
Well, I know you can say this about any team, but it'll be interesting to see how the women play when they're not making threes. because they've got. I mean, McCabe's a good 3-point shooter. I still think Addie Deal can make some threes, but they don't have a lot of proven great 3-point shooters on the team right now. Wouldn't you agree?
No, they don't.
And it'll be interesting to see how that. And you can say the same thing about the men. Now, how important is it the fact that they have Layla Hayes, just like they did last year with Ava and her name is Addie O'Grady, to get 10 fouls from your post players? Isn't that big? Because like they know if Ava picks up 2, Layla can come in there. They've got post depth.
Yeah, that is big. I mean, you're going to get some of those ticky-tack fouls in there, especially with their size. And, if you go to block or just could be an offensive foul too. Jan's rules don't seem to be as hard line as, somebody like Fran where you get those 2 fouls, you're automatically kind of done for the half.
Yeah.
It's nice to have that backup so then you're not totally exposed. And to have 2 good post players, you can kind of feed off each other. And, again, to your point, you get 10 fouls between the 2 of them, you should be in pretty good shape.
Well, plus Hannah has played great at the 5, so we really have 3 people who tremendous depth at the 5.
Yeah,
they just would prefer not to play Hannah
for
at
sure.
the 5.
For
but
sure.
Sometimes you may have.
And sometimes in those matchups, I think she looks good in the 5. I mean, to your point, like if she can run, she's hard to guard. If you can, make her just rim run and whoever, if there's a big that's guarding her and can't keep up, she can outrun people all day long.
Rim run, isn't that what the kids said in The Shining? Rim run.
Close,
Captain.
That's what we call it in our youth ball. We're like rim run and
that's
all right. All right, okay.
That's good.
You're down with the kids.
Since we're chit chatting, who should I ask about next?
I couldn't say.
Chit chat, right? I didn't cover the opener, but I covered the exhibition. Obviously, her quickness stands out right away. She can use both hands really well. Not very tall. I mean, just your thoughts on her? Because she is their point guard. They're probably the second closest they have to a point guard is actually going to be on the radio. We have Taylor Stremlow coming on next Wednesday as our UI guest. So what do you think of Chit Chat? And she's got a huge role on this team, Adam.
She does. I mean, she's got a lot of speed, a lot of quickness, and I think she might end up being kind of a fan favorite.
I do too.
Not just the name, but my dad right away, as soon as he saw the exhibition game, was blowing me up about Chit Chat. He's like, I got to get a jersey. So he just, she's one of those that I think she's going to give you max effort and is going to be just something a little different out there. So, again, it's so early. I think it's going to be interesting to watch how these girls, the roles kind of play into it, and then obviously playing time, who's going to settle in and how many minutes each person's going to get.
Yeah, because you could make an argument for 9 or 10 girls playing.
Absolutely. And Emily Rodriguez has really been impressive.
She's a natural scorer, isn't she?
Yeah, and they kind of talked about that in the preseason, and I think even some of her teammates kind of alluded to that she can score the ball.
Yeah.
And, they were getting somebody with high confidence, and really on the offensive end, she could do about anything.
She's very confident offensively, and she's working on her defense. I think offense has always been her strength, but she can score at all 3 levels, Adam, and she's one of these players who could take 1 or 2 dribbles, and boom, she's found a really nice shot. She can do it in traffic. Some of that stuff's just talent, too, isn't it? I mean, just the ability. You either have it or you don't.
Well, and I think that's what we wanted for Lucy last year, and she did it towards the end of the year. I think she really found her stride. But you're going to need that when things break down and there's a shot clock involved. It's nice to have somebody that can create their own shot or, doesn't have to have a driving kick to get something. She can kind of create for herself and others, and I think she's going to be a nice addition. The
women play Evansville Sunday at 2?
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah, we'll be
and Molly Davis, graduate assistant
for Evansville. So, yeah, that will be another interesting test for them. Okay, let's shift to the men. I covered their opener, and I was a little worried that the fans weren't going to show up. It was a late arriving crowd, but by the time the game started, there was a good 9,000 Rockies fans in there. It passed the eye test. That's kind of how I look at it. Were you at that game?
Yeah, I was going to come up and say something to you. I was sitting kind of in Section A, and I had kids and stuff there. So I meant to come up, and I saw you were working. And
don't ever hesitate to come up.
I agree. It did pass the eye test in the beginning. As I came in, I got there probably 25 minutes early.
Mm-hmm.
And I could tell people were coming in, and some were kind of congregating up top.
Yeah.
But, I love the student section right in back of that basket. I know there's handicap on the other side and some floor seating. It would be really cool, though, if they could find a way to get it on both sides.
They got to wrap it around, and I think they will. I think this is just the start.
It adds a whole different element down there. I think you could tell the energy was different.
Yep.
It feels bowled in, like it's more compact, and I'm sure the guys love having them just right behind the basket.
Yeah, because they're going to be seen on TV. Yeah. They're part of the presentation. And the other thing that I thought was really, most of them stayed until the end.
They did. I was impressed.
And then Ben and the players went over and they had interacted. I think those students stayed because they wanted to have some interaction after the game. But that's what impressed me the most is the thing. There was, what's it seat? Roughly 200, 250, and it was full. And most of them stayed. Now the general fans, by the time the game ended, the arena was almost. Did you stay till the end?
Yes, we always
But you
do.
saw how many fans leave.
I've never understood that.
I don't
ever.
Season opener for a new head coach. Just stand and rejoice.
Stay and watch the new kids play.
But wouldn't you agree that arena, other than the students, was almost empty by the time?
I watched them file out. Why are you leaving?
I don't get it.
I don't either.
I'll be honest, I was one of those, so if anybody saw me, I did leave, but I went to the bathroom, and I watched from the top.
Okay, well, at least you stayed.
I waited just long enough, and I'm like, all right, I told my wife, I'm like, I got to go watch from the top. You know, because the second half I thought took a while.
Yeah, and it was.
Oh, there were 8,000 fouls.
Tons of fouls, and it was kind of boring the second half, and they let up on defense. It's only human nature. Even Ben sort of acknowledged that. So how close are your seats to the court?
Well, we had tickets in 23.
So that means you've got to get 60
Section
steps.
D, and then I sat with a buddy in Section A, 7 rows up.
So you're probably still in a good enough shape, but can't you even admit that sometimes those stairs are kind of annoying climbing? I mean,
we need a escalator or something. It's well, the thing is, when I had young kids and they had to go to the bathroom, I almost preferred to sit up higher.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Parker cones and 4 or 5 bathroom breaks. I'm like, hey, I better be within 10 rows from the top.
Yeah, no, it is interesting, but no, they're making steps. The student section thing is one small step, but I'm with you, Adam. They need to wrap it around, and I think, and of course, you got to win. I mean, the novelty's going to rub off if they don't win, but I just think this will help them win. Having this atmosphere.
And I think too. I mean, first impression. What a great start, right?
Sure.
17-2, I think, was the initial.
The defense
start.
was incredible.
You're seeing a team that's bought in. I mean, if you listen to his interviews, it's defense.
Yep.
You know, we're going to rebound. We're not going to turn the ball over. You know, we're going to get deflections. That energy on defense was electric. And he even looked at the crowd 1 or 2 times and he's like, "Hey, come on!" Right?
Oh yeah, I
stops.
loved it when he was doing that.
You know, I as a former player, I really appreciated it, the energy on defense. And this is not a knock on Fran. It's just 2 totally different styles.
Sure.
I think if you're going to win consistent in the Big Ten, you've got to be able to play defense because there's going to be nights where you can't throw in the ocean.
Well, no, you're right.
You've got to rely on defense.
Yep.
And I think that's what he wants as a staple. And then on top of that, the offense and the passing and the new kind of zoom action and some of the Ivo cuts he's doing. I mean, the spacing is incredible and the timing and, Bennett's special. I really thought that was a fun brand of basketball to watch, for opening night.
And with Fran, they played at such a fast pace on offense. That leads to more possessions on defense. And their defense just couldn't keep up in a lot of good games. I mean, they always scored, but sometimes they were their own worst enemy because they played so fast on offense. I think Ben's teams are going to adjust more to every game, matchup, circumstance. The thing that I found interesting, Adam, we had Brandon Hassan on last week. I predicted him as one of the starters. I think a lot of people predicted him. He was the 5th guy off the bench late in the first half. Ended up playing 14 minutes. He got 10 points, made a big 3. And I thought for sure afterwards, he's been a little sick, blah, blah. No, he said it was a matchup thing. How surprised were you by that?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, going in, he can't play 15 guys, right?
No.
So I feel like there's a lot of interchangeable guys on the floor, and they each provide a little something different. But yeah, that was a little late entry, and I thought the same thing. I'm like, well, he kind of had that long leg sleeve,
and he looked like he was sort of limping.
Next to a buddy, and I said, hey, you think it's knee related or leg or something? And apparently not. But I think to your point, going back, I think he's a tactician when it comes to matchups and exploiting different things. And so I think just because that was the first night and first game, I don't think that's, any stretch of this is the 5 going forward. He said before he was struggling to find who he was going to kind of keep in that
other than Sturts
starting mix. And really it doesn't matter if you boil it down. I mean, I think some guys get wrapped up in that, and even high school kids or middle school kids, I'm like, listen, it doesn't matter. If you can come out and you can prove yourself and you get 18, 20 minutes off the bench, you need good guys coming off to give a spark and to have a certain role. But, yeah, I think this is going to be interesting to see how this evolves because, you know, tonight you've got Western Illinois, probably not super strong and, you know, not picked to be highly competitive, but then you've got Xavier coming in next Friday, and then from there, this thing really kind of kicks up quick.
It really does. What's going to be interesting, Adam, I mean, Ben coached 14 years at Division II, and I was talking to Tom about this one. I know there's egos there, too. Anyone who played Division II basketball was a really good high school player. Division III, you can almost say the same thing. Okay, but now he's at the highest level. He's made a couple remarks that I find really interesting. He's talked about, I remember when he said a couple weeks ago, you know, some of our best shooters aren't our best defenders and vice versa. And then the other night he was saying there's going to be some games where we need 4 and 5 shooters out there. There's going to be some games where we need 4 or 5 defenders out there. Seems like with Fran, it was always who he felt were the best players, best scorers. So what I want to ask you is, at this level, Eagles are a little different. Wouldn't you say at the highest? How important he's going to have to get these guys to buy into what the guys at Division II bought into, the guys at Drake, about team first, minutes come at, you know, the coach's discretion. How hard do you think that's going to be to do at the highest level of college basketball, where there's pay me, you know, and all, you know? I mean, what do you think of that?
I think it's really hard. However, if you watch the style of play, very unselfish.
Oh, without question.
And I think almost, you know, Bennett could have had 30, in my opinion.
Oh, easily.
You know,
easily.
Extremely unselfish, and, you know, those guys were always looking to make the extra pass. And even like Cooper, it took him a while to get going. He ended up with 8 points. But
and 5 rebounds.
He didn't. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't one that's like searching to get mine. So if that's the mentality, and I think he's building a culture where we're like, hey, winning's the most important thing,
yes.
which it is. And to get there, I'm going to lead you there, and this is the way we're going to do it. And when you got your minutes on the floor and you got your job, I think these guys are buying in. Now, it's early to say that, but just the style of play, I thought it was super unselfish basketball. And it looked like these guys wanted to win. They enjoyed being around each other. I mean, those are two big things that if you love your teammates and you love who you're playing for and everybody's in it together, that's a powerful thing in college sports now with this culture that we have now.
No, you're right. And I thought Alvaro Figueres, I would say before the season's over, he's going to be their second best player. That's my big prediction. I was a little surprised he didn't start, but again, I mean,
he knocked down a couple nice threes,
and he's a legitimate 6'9", 6'10". My only concern about him, Adam, is I worry about him a little bit in traffic in the Big Ten because he's not real. There's not a lot to him.
No,
he's kind of got that European kind of that stretch.
He does.
Four.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
And you know, it is a nice thing to have. I mean, he knocked down 2 threes when he did come in. I think we got a lot of different qualities that each guy kind of brings, but yet, you know, some of these guys are interchangeable. Mm-hmm. So, and again, I think Ben's sending a message, you know, obviously if you can't play D, I can't have you on the floor.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so maybe some of this stuff is a certain message of, hey, this is the expectation. You've got to get there. You've got to show it every day. And it sounds like in practice, I mean, these guys are talking about how hard it is and how much they compete. You know, really the games are kind of a night off. I like to hear that because it sounds like there's good competitive stuff going on, and he's going to play whoever's he thinks ready to go.
Yeah, and we talked about what maybe my biggest concern would be, well, 2 concerns going forward. If Sturts misses any extended period of time, they don't really have, I'd say Cale Combs is probably the most. Combs, but that would obviously be. And I just wonder about their size in the big. Tavian Banks and they're good players, don't get me wrong, but they're about 6'7". Do you agree that that's a legitimate concern? I just wonder about their size on the front line in the Big Ten over a 20-game grind.
I totally agree, but I think, you know, with Urach coming in and playing some significant minutes, you know, for a true freshman and somebody that wasn't maybe highly touted, he had a great high school career, but, you know, you're thinking of some of the big names in the state. Obviously has worked on his body, worked on his skill level. I think they're going to have a little bit of his size.
I agree.
Bang and pound.
Yeah.
And even then, I mean, he's only a freshman, so I don't want to overdo it on expectations for him. But if you can get some minutes from him, and then obviously with the rest of our guys, if they can play physical, get in your face defense, and it's going to have to start with the guards too. They're going to have to really apply pressure to keep that inside, you know, from getting hammered. You know, I think that's why Ben is kind of the matchup guy, right? He's talking about hurt each game if you have to slow it down or you have to speed it up. I think he's willing to have different matchups depending on who we're playing. And you're right, the Big Ten's big, and there's a lot of talent there. So, you know, from what I saw the first game and a little bit of the exhibition stuff from what I've heard, I think, you know, this team seems like they're off to a good start. And like I said, I love the spacing. I love the offense. They've got to guard us too. And you've got Bennett, you know, he just makes everything look so smooth with those pocket passes, and he's not rattled. He's not out of control. And a couple times when they were really dogging him, he just went to the corner and let somebody else bring it up. And then he ends up getting a wide open shot because that offense really just it made that defense suck in, and then he really didn't move but 10 feet, and boom, wide open three.
Think about how
there's a lot of threats out there.
Think about how much his life has changed in about a year and a half. I mean, 2 years, barely 2 years.
It's amazing.
It's amazing how. I mean, he went from being a solid Division II, second-team All-Conference. Now he's one of the top point guards in the highest level and has an NBA future ahead of him, it looks like. With him, too, Adam, how important is it for him that he is a legitimate 6'3", 6'4"?
Well, I think it's important, but I also think, too, he's got big hands and big arms. You know, the one time I noticed when they did the ISO on the out-of-bounds play, so they basically just threw it to him and everybody cleared out, and he just went one-on-one.
Yeah.
He kind of palmed that ball out like Jordan a little bit.
He did. You're right about that.
He's got big hands, and you can tell he's longer. And, you know, the other thing, too, is he showed his athleticism when it's a fast break and they threw it up to him with no hesitation, and he went in and, you know, slammed. I mean, he's obviously athletic and quick, but I think he's got some of those other, kind of like Peatland, big hands, big arms. You know, that makes a big difference.
And Jurek really has worked on his body. He looks different than he did just a while ago. And I'll tell you, he's got quick feet for a guy that size. And there may be some games where they can have Jurek in there at 6'11", Fulgaris at 6'10". They do have some size. And you're right. I think they may have to use him, just if anything, to get 3 or 4 fouls out of the post and have some presence in there.
I thought Jurek played well.
Jurek.
He did.
Yeah, no, I was impressed with his foot speed. You know, on that pick and roll where he scored, that looked easy, but you know, Adam, for a big guy like that, that's not as easy as it looks.
No, and he covered a lot of ground. I mean, those steps were big.
Yeah.
So it's not like he was, you know, kind of playing tight or playing in a bubble. I mean, he broke out of that shell, and he finished strong at the basket. And, again, there was a couple matchups, to your point, where his feet looked quick when he got matched up on a smaller guy on the perimeter. He was keeping him in front, playing wide, solid defense. Yeah, I mean, this team, it was exciting to watch a couple of those shot clocks really run down. Robert Morris didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
You know, and again, to your point, it's hard to do that for an entire game, especially when you're up as big as we were. And then he's working on different matchups and guys coming off the bench. But just it was a really solid first game. And, again, I think the crowd, hopefully with tonight, and you got people coming into the game early, I'm hoping we get
I've heard it's going to be a pretty good crowd tonight.
But there's a lot going on. You got high school football playoffs.
Yeah.
You got, you know, state volleyball just wrapped up. There is, you know, some stuff still going on in the area that I think will pull fans away. But once next week hits, we better pack this place for, you know, some of these big games coming up.
So did you guys see where Robert Morris beat Drake?
I did see that last night. Yeah, not a good sign for Drake. I just hope the honeymoon's not over. You know,
but if you're a Drake,
well, that's hard. I mean, they pulled it just like, you know, in Iowa. It's even hard for us. We had some pretty good pieces of the puzzle that got taken out.
Yeah, I just saw one of them.
Mature games, like, you know, and then Drake, pretty much your whole team.
No, I know it's tough. It is tough,
especially at that level, and as late as it all happened. You know, it's. I hope they can turn things around pretty quick. And I think he will. I think, you know, that AD over there has been a slam dunk on the last few hires.
Very good.
It might take a year or two to get some of those guys ready to go.
I just hope Drake fans can just, because they've had it pretty good for the last 5 years. They have just been a power.
But can you imagine being a Drake fan and watching your team last year playing with Iowa jerseys on, and then seeing your team this year lose to the team that Iowa just beat by 30?
It's
rough.
I saw a funny, I don't know who posted it, but it popped up on my X feed, and it was, you know, a guy was like, hey, it's like watching your ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, it would have
somebody
to
better.
Yeah, I mean, it was weird.
You know, you watch it on TV, and it's, you know, they end up being even better looking than you thought, and they're even happier than you thought, and he's like, you know, it was a gut punch.
I mean, it was weird watching highlights of Owen Freeman for Creighton last night, and Josh Dix. Freeman had a big game.
He did.
And that was just kind of weird, but that's the world we live in now, and it's not going to ever – go
I
back
saw
to
where
the way
Brock struggled.
He was on TV. I watched him for a couple minutes. He did, and the few times I watched, he had a couple assists. But man, their arena was empty.
And Price had 3 points for Nebraska the other night.
Did he? Okay. Did he start?
I don't think so.
Okay. No, Harty looks like he's their starter. He played in the time as I was watching. He was out there. So, yeah, no, there's players scattered all over the place. And speaking of your former coach, I saw something on Twitter. It was Alford talk. He had his team pressed pretty much from start to finish in this game the other night.
I saw that.
And he said that he's never really – did you guys hardly ever press?
I mean, we would put some on-ball pressure. If you remember, really good quick guard from St. Joe's, Tony Freeman. He went to high school in Chicago, yeah. So a lot of times we would dog somebody,
okay,
and make them really work. And occasionally you could come jump it, or even in a half-court setting, we'd fire off a red and go double, on a first pass wing. But, yeah, not really full-court pressing, kind of the Tom Davis style, right? From start to finish, I mean, you've got on ball as soon as they put it in, whether it's man or his own press. He's right. I mean, that just wasn't his style, but it seems like he's shaking things up a little bit.
He's adjusting to the personnel he has, it sounds like.
I was going to say, if you have the right personnel, it's fantastic.
Now, there were some times under Dr. Tom where I thought they didn't have the right personnel to press as much as they did, but he still stuck with it, and that it worked for him more times than it did. I'm trying to think anything else. I watched a little. I
heard Steve had said something too, like he must have a lot of guys that are somewhat interchangeable.
Yes,
and it's a way to play everybody.
Yeah, a lot of quick guys.
I think in those kind of cases, even in high school, if you've got teams and you're deep and you're like, well, there's not much difference between person A and person B, you can really get up and press and play a fast up tempo because they're going to need breaks. And so I think it's a way to play everybody. But if you got the horses and you got 10, 11 guys pretty deep, it's probably not a bad idea just to, disrupt the game and be aggressive.
Yeah, no, Dr. Tom stuck with that, and like I said, it worked more times than not. But, man, there were players coming in and out. His substitution stuff was crazy, but it worked. And I watched a little bit of Indiana last night. One team that looks better is Minnesota. Yeah. Minnesota, for limited time I've seen, and he's a good coach. Nico Medved, he's a good coach. So it's good. But Adam, it's hard to sit here and ask you to comment on other Big Ten teams. If this was 10 years ago, it'd be simple because we know these teams because they've been around. Well, now,
you don't know them anymore. Some of them are completely different.
They're completely different. Rutgers' team last night was completely different. I mean, it's hard. So I'm not going to ask you to comment on unless you know is like right now Purdue.
I watched a little bit of some of the Indiana stuff. Like I was kind of keeping an eye on.
What'd you think?
With DeVries and some of the, with his own son playing, I followed his career. It looks like he's got some offensive stuff, too, that he's bringing to the table. It's a little bit different. I thought their ball movement looked good. But, yeah, even for my kids, it's weird. Growing up, I could have told you I was such a big fan. I could tell you starting lineups, who's off the bench.
Yeah, exactly.
Even Iowa fans. I was talking to a few people up top, and they're like, I don't know anybody really on this team besides Bennett and, Cooper.
Exactly.
It's hard because we're going to have to get to know a whole new team, and it's exciting, but at the same time, it's everybody in the country. Everybody's totally different from year to year, and it's
crazy.
I don't love that, but it's the world we're living in right now.
Yeah, you look
love it either.
You look at the Iowa wrestling team, how much it changes. I mean, and like Brand said at the media day, we got to use the portal. We're going to use the portal. That's what it's there for.
Yeah, my wife Ann said, watching the men play, she said, I don't know any of these guys.
Watching strangers.
No, exactly. And plus, they played so differently. It was almost like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde thing. We looked so different.
Yeah. Well,
but it was instantaneous. You could see it instantly.
Under Fran, it was an offensive scoring spurt that would get the fans going. Maybe make 2 or 3 threes in transition. I was so impressed, Adam, with their help defense. And, I mean, their help defense was incredible. And that's a lot of that is communication and just effort, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And trust in one another.
Yeah.
You could tell if there were switches and – somebody got mismatched and it was a quick switch back. I mean, there were some good things happening. However, that big boy that had was it Russian or some kind of Eastern.
He was from Greece.
Name. He actually wasn't too bad.
No, he was pretty good.
Matches in there where he was just backing down.
Yeah.
He had 14 or 16 points.
Yeah, he was pretty skilled
early in the game.
Yep.
But then second half we kind of slowed him down a little bit, and I think he got tired. But yeah, I mean, some of that stuff you could tell there was communication going on with those guys in matchups, and it was good to see some of the defensive effort.
Tom, anything else? We've had him on for over a half an hour.
Oh gosh, we could talk forever with you, Adam. But we look forward to keeping this going, and you always have such a great insight on what the team looks like. And this year there is some excitement this year that just has been lacking the last few years.
And Adam, your day of the week, that's just going to fluctuate, right? I mean, like with Don, we do it on Monday, but your situation is different. Just let me know as we kind of go each week what day works out best for you. All right? Does that work for you?
That sounds great.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know too. Like we've after tonight, we got about a week between games, but yeah, we'll certainly we'll coordinate that.
Okay.
But happy to be on for this season and excited to see what this team does.
Thanks,
All right.
Adam.
Thanks, Adam.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Adam.
it.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a great weekend. Go
Yep.
Hawks.
Go Hawks.
That's always good stuff with Adam.
Yeah.
Oh, he knows his stuff.
He does well, and plus he was part of it.
great basketball
He was a great
player.
basketball player, and so yeah, we're lucky to have him.
And a great athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we take a break?
Yep.
And an all-around good Joe.
What'd you call him? Iowa City's Great White Hope.
Great White Hope.
But he's from Solon, so how about
Well,
Johnson?
lives in Solon.
How about Johnson County's Great White Hope? You think that's fair?
Eastern Iowa's great.
Eastern
White Hope?
Iowa's God, we're expanding. He's just Iowa's Great White Hope. He's civilization's Great White Hope. All right, we're done.
We'll be right back.
1-800-800-ROSE. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist is the only number you need to know to send flowers anywhere in the country or Canada from anywhere in the country. 1-800-800-ROSE. It's so easy. Just remember one number. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist. 1-800-800-ROSE. Remember.
Don't wait for an emergency to get a backup for your car keys. Unlike the olden days, car keys have gotten extremely complex. Mike's eKeys for Cars can generate the most technically advanced automotive keys that are on the market today. For spares and lost keys, Mike's eKeys for Cars can produce most conventional transponder, high security, and remote head keys. Mike's eKeys for Cars will keep you on the road. Call 319-330-9185 and schedule an appointment today. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 319-330-9185 today.
For a gift that your loved one will treasure for a lifetime, find it at our family-owned jewelry store in Iowa City, Hertine and Stocker Jewelers.
We can show you diamond engagement rings, colored stones, fashion jewelry, and watches.
Our jewelers are on site so we can design jewelry for that special person in your life.
We are Hertine and Stocker, serving Iowa City and the surrounding area for 3 generations.
Hertine and Stocker Jewelers, downtown Iowa City, and HertineandStockerJewelers.com. Ask for Willa, Terry, Tim, or Kate. One of us is always there.
Hanging lights is a pain. Dealing with blown bulbs, dangerous installations, and the endless rat's nest of cords, there's got to be a better way, and now there is. Illuma Lights permanent outdoor lighting from Big Dog Tech. Illuma Lights provides illumination for every occasion. Holiday lighting, accent lights, security, and of course, lighting for the best season, football season. The Illuma Lights app lets you create your own patterns with color, mode disappear until you turn them on. Rated at 50,000 hours, you'll enjoy stress-free convenience for years to come. No more ladders, no more hooks, no more wifey's dirty looks. That's the song you'll be singing all year long with Illuma Lights permanent outdoor lighting from Big Dog Tech. Find out more at BigDogTek.net or call 319-395-0800.
Hi, I'm Jim Street, owner of Streets Maintenance. As a licensed, insured, and bonded master plumber, I specialize in all plumbing repairs, including but not limited to water heater and sump pumps to toilet and faucet repairs and replacements. As an Iowa City native, I know how frustrating it can be when any part of your plumbing system breaks down. That's why I only use trusted brands and quality materials. I offer same-day, next-day service coupled with a fair price. I also offer general services to mobile homes. For more information about my business, I'm online at streetsmaintenance.com and Facebook, or give me a call at 400-4483, 400-4483.
Streets Maintenance, honest plumbing at a fair price.
Once upon a time, in the land of the Hawkeyes, a business grew. A business that would become synonymous with real estate. Hi, I'm Steve Anderson of Hawkeye Title and Settlement. When you're buying or selling your home, you'll need title and settlement services. Consider the Hawkeye Title and Settlement team. Give us a call at 351-8600. Hawkeye Title and Settlement, the team you love, the people you trust.
Don't let just anyone take care of your smile. At Diamond Dental, you can expect compassion, expertise, and a personalized care plan to protect your teeth for life. With more than 30 years of combined experience, Dr. Forbes and his staff are prepared to tackle even your toughest dental problems, leaving your smile healthy and sparkling.
Diamond Dental offers a full range of general and cosmetic dentistry, as well as dental treatment options for snoring and sleep apnea. It's never too early to start thinking about what's best for your smile. Schedule an appointment today by calling 319-390-3703 or visiting the office at 5815 Consul Street Northeast, Suite D1 in Cedar Rapids. You can also visit DiamondDentalPC.com for more information. Dr. Forbes is a proud sponsor of the Hawkeye Wrestling Club and the Inner Circle. Let the Diamond Dental team provide superior care for your entire family.
This is Leah Pasha, and I've been saying, hit a deer, call Premier, for years. But it's time for something new. It's still where you need to go for deer divots and door dings, as well as damaged dashboards. That's what my dad Nathan's driving at and dreams about. Why not say, when your car is dinged, be a deer and call Premier? I think Dad's going to love that. Premier Automotive, North Liberty's premier auto body repair shop.
Be a deer and call Premier Auto Body in North Liberty.
Diamond Dream Sports Academy 20,000 square foot indoor facility holds 8 batting cages, space for infield work, space for throwing and pitching and all your arm care needs. Offers private instruction, group lessons, camps and clinics, leagues, memberships. Rentals available at Diamond Dreams is open to the public.
Our top level instructors include former professional, college, and Olympic athletes. Our coaches will help these athletes achieve their full athletic potential, develop a strong work ethic, and a solid base to build. The last thing you want to do is look back and wish you had worked or played harder.
Locally owned and established in 2005, Diamond Dreams is Eastern Iowa's premier training facility. Located at 2905 Stoner Court, North Liberty. Call today and reserve your time. 319-665-2173. 319-665-2173.
When you go to a family restaurant, you want 3 things. 1, a wide selection of breakfast, lunch, and dinner items. 2, you want those selections to be affordable and delicious. And 3, you want to be treated like family. You get all 3 at the Midtown Family Restaurant. Breakfast items available anytime the doors are open. Legendary tenderloins, onion rings, and hot roast beef sandwiches. Daily specials at each location, and no matter if you're coming in solo or with a group of 20, you get the same special family treatment. The Midtown Family Restaurant at Court and Scott Streets and at the Walmart Plaza on Highway 1 West. Follow them on Facebook or at MidtownFamily.com. The family's waiting for you. GT Carr, owner of Supple's Building and Remodeling, has been offering unmatched service and quality for over 25 years. The trained professionals at Supple's Building and Remodeling will install and guarantee the products used in any job, no matter how big or small. They also stand behind their work and offer no-nonsense, exceptional customer service from design to completion and beyond. Whether it's a simple window replacement or a major house addition, you'll have the confidence that Supple's Building and Remodeling is committed to quality. Visit Supples.net or call them today at 319-337-2246.
Hi, this is Tiffany at Senior Benefits. Are you confused with Medicare questions, anything having to do with Medicare? I take care of all Medicare customers, people under 65. I also do life insurance, long-term care, cancer insurance. I'm here to help you navigate any questions that you may be having or frustrations and anxiety that you may have with Medicare or insurance in general. Give me, Tiffany Rao, a call at 319-631-4795.
When someone is kind enough to share their time with us, we better make it worth their while.
They don't want to do people call it the game, right?
Patrick Eads and Terry Adams of Deary Brothers Ford talk about what Here For You means to them.
You don't have to spend a half a day in our dealership to get that good competitive price. We just want to try to deliver that to you up front.
And that makes me feel good, makes me proud.
Because that's what people want. They want a fair, honest deal.
As far as a statement Here For You, we want to not just say it, but live it.
Find out what it means to you at Deary Ford in Iowa City.
Hi, this is Bill Leixnering from the Oxy Oak Inn. The Oxy Oak Inn is now serving daily. Our Oxy Oak family is ready to serve you with the same quality of food and service you've come to trust since 1940. Now serving lunch, dinner, banquets, and carry-out daily with 4 portion sizes. Sundays featuring our famous brunch buffet. You can also order curbside carry-out and pies to go online and take the comforting taste of the Oxy Oak home to your family's table. Visit oxyokin.com for hours, menus, reservations, carry-out, specials, and gift cards. From our Oxy Oak family to yours, we can't wait to see you again soon. Oxy Oak Inn, in the heart of Amana.
The Oxy Oak Inn.
From the Harty and Stalker Studios in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the mighty 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City.
Harty and Stalker Jewelers, making memories, making moments.
Meteorologist Rodney Price. Sunshine, then a few clouds filtering in this afternoon. West winds will be gusty, highs in the mid-60s. Overnight, a partly cloudy sky in mid-30s. On Saturday, look for the clouds to increase with some showers possible in the afternoon. Highs reaching the upper 40s and our winds turning to the north. A little rain snow mix Saturday night. That's the forecast on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. It's 53 at our studios.
KCJJ weather brought to you by Plum Supply.
Plum Supply kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
We are back. Back.
What?
We're back.
We're back.
We were just talking women's basketball recruiting, and I didn't realize it wasn't quite as optimistic as I thought. Fill us in, Tom.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's just that...
A couple weeks ago,
your quote-unquote pundits were saying, Jan may be closing in on getting 3 5-star recruits this year, and we did get one.
Velisco, and then the other would have been
Velisco.
Jenica Lewis, who committed to Notre Dame.
Yesterday.
And then, was it Addison Bjorn?
Addison Bjorn.
And you don't feel as optimistic about her now as you did.
I don't, but that doesn't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
You never know until they decide, but she's at Kansas right now.
And I read a story that, and it was like a Kansas writer, so it's obviously slanted, but it made it sound like Kansas was the team to beat. And you said that a couple weeks ago, that you were worried about Kansas.
Yeah,
I mean, she's from Kansas City, right?
Ish.
Right, in that area.
Yeah,
and Kansas is not a terrible program. It's not Iowa, but it's a decent program.
Decent. K-State has probably been a little higher,
a little better
lately. Well, they gave Caitlin's teams fits.
And you said, what's his name? Slim or Skim Milk?
Skim Milky.
You say he or she or it is saying that Bjorn's probably not coming to Iowa?
Probably not,
okay.
Yeah.
What do you think of that, Captain?
Skim Milky.
But he hasn't made a confirmed prediction yet.
Okay. Are you anxious to see that confirmed prediction?
Yeah, I can't sleep.
Should we try to get Skim Milky on?
Yeah.
We don't even know who it is, do we?
I don't.
But Tom says
he's
good sources.
Yeah, we do know who he is, but I don't know what his...
is it Trilly Donovan?
Yes.
What about Trilly Donovan, Captain?
Yes.
Sunshine Superman.
There you go. There you go.
Sunshine sits softly.
Oh.
I didn't.
God.
I didn't go very far.
Spotify, they're saying, cut it.
Everybody out.
We're done.
Yeah.
We're done. Yeah, no, I missed you guys talking about. I had somebody text me say, "Hey, they're talking about the Grateful Dead on," and he said, but basically they're just taking out. They're telling Lang to take his suggestions and shove it. Lang's trying to get the Grateful Dead on here, and you're just saying no.
We got Shakedown Street.
The Grateful Dead is like your snap.
We got Estimated Profit. We got Touch of Grey.
He said that you guys were comparing
Shakedown Street.
Did I hear Fire in the Mountain being compared to country music? Was that mentioned here?
Yeah.
That's just ludicrous. That's just ludicrous.
Ludicrous doesn't.
Well, the other Fire on the Mountain is
well, the Grateful Dead's Fire on the Mountain has no country
no, it
at all.
isn't.
No, Fire on the Mountain. That's Marco Tucker, man.
It just you can't. Okay, so the other night I'm listening, and we go from Ariana Grande to Truckin'.
See, I've never been a big fan of Truckin'.
How
about Ripple?
No.
I've never been a big fan of
I liked Ripple a lot.
Never been a big fan of Trucking or Casey Jones. And those are two of their more popular songs, I would say.
Yeah, it just doesn't fit with the rest of
But I heard they said you were playing Uncle John's Band, which is probably my second favorite Grateful Dead song. Go Fire on the Mountain, Uncle John's Band, then probably Cassidy, Bird Song. Yeah, you should do like a 17-minute version of Bird Song.
Yeah, that's what
Or you know what you should do? Hunter, you would agree, side B of Terrapin Station. What do you think? Lady with a Fan? There you go, Captain. You could spend a half an hour back there. All right, back to the Hawks.
Well, I know there was a 10-minute version of Fire on the Mountain that.
Oh, I've listened live to 40-minute versions of Fire on the Mountain.
Oh God!
By the time it was over, the fire was out.
Well, it just didn't fit here.
Yeah, I know.
No, not really.
Fine recordings.
But my buddy who texted me said, "Hey, they're telling I don't know what I was doing at the time, but by the time I turned you guys on, you had moved on. And you were on to something else."
Hello.
Hey there. So, question for you about men's basketball here.
All right.
Looking at their schedule, what's kind of your expectation, I guess, for them year record-wise and the honeymoon phase portion? Because, as we know, Iowa fans are fickle in a way. It's hard to get to Carver. It's early game, it's late game, all that kind of stuff. But the first 5 are at home. What's kind of your expectation on that first 5?
Well, read them off, Suter.
On the non-conference.
Robert Morris, we already know, 1-0. Western Illinois, the Leathernecks, 2-0. Xavier's not very good this year.
Yeah, I don't know much about them, but they have not been very good recently. So I'm going to give them that one, 3-0.
And then Southeast Missouri, 4-0. Chicago State, 5-0.
5-0 without beating really a good
anybody.
Team. So my expectation for this team is if they can, I'm going to say the same thing I did for Jan last year. If they get into the NCAA tournament, I don't care if it's a 10 seed, a 9 seed. To me, that's great season. If they get into the NIT and maybe win a game or two, acceptable. What they need to avoid is a losing record.
Yeah.
A losing record, and you can't say, well, it's inexcusable, unacceptable. You got to accept it. But if he has a losing record, then he goes into year 2. I mean, I think Ben would probably get 3 years of having losing records, and he'd be gone just like Licklider. But I do think they're going to have a winning record this year. Now, they could also maybe have a winning record go 18-17 with win a couple games and not make the NIT. Where would you be?
If Sturtz stays healthy, we're going to have a winning record, I think.
I think
he's
partly
really
because they're going to be
crucial.
6 or 7 games over 500. The non-conference schedule is not real tough.
I mean, it gets tougher after the first 5. I mean, Ole Miss, Utah, or Grand Canyon.
Yeah, no, there's going to be some tough games.
That's where they get a tough stretch because they go to California.
Yeah.
They're 5-0, say, and they go to California for 2 tough games. Then they come back and they have at Michigan State, Maryland,
and
Maryland home, at Iowa State. So that's a tough 3-game stretch.
Oh, that's really tough. Yeah, that's why these gimmies. That's why you have 5 or 6 gimmies a year, just so you have some margin for error. And so, to me, winning record. Yeah, of course, the NCAA is the goal, but if they didn't make the NCAA tournament this year, but still had a winning record and played the NIT, I would be okay with that. Some fans are going to be like, okay, but you're not going to have Bennett Sturtz back next year. You have to take advantage of having a star point guard. Well, let's see how he plays this year before. I mean, he is a great player, don't get me wrong, but let's see how he handles the Big Ten grind before we just assume that he's going to tear the Big Ten up. We got to see it first.
Well, that's true.
Exactly. I mean, just kind of looking at their schedule overall, I mean, 11 non-conference games. If they're 8-3,
that's usually what they are.
7-4 in that range.
Yeah.
That's good. And then if they can get close to 500 or 500 in the Big Ten, that gets them to that 20-win mark maybe.
I mean, that's Fran.
And maybe that's setting the bar too high.
Well,
but
there's
I
a
think
big
year
difference.
one with the talent he's got, and the guys that he's got 6 guys that played with him, so that helped. That played with him at Drake.
Well, they're going to have to win at least 10 conference games to have any chance of making the tournament. They got to win at least 10 conference games.
You said, there's a big difference between 9-2 non-conference and 7-4. If we're 7-4, that ain't enough. If you want to make the NCAAs, then that puts too much pressure on the Big Ten games.
You got to finish way.
Yeah, because now in the Big Ten tournament, you got to win 2, maybe 3 games, or get to the finals, or win it to get in there.
Yeah, it would put a lot of pressure.
So, I've got realistic expectations. I think they can have a winning record. I'm not ready to say, oh, this is an NCAA lock team. No, I got to see more.
Yeah, I would agree. I think, the excitement, I think, is building, and I think people are excited for something new.
Something new, yes.
They just kind of got tired of Fran in a sense, and the same thing every time, and the lack of defense. And, I mean, we saw, honestly, in the first half, we saw more defense than we saw in a whole season last year. You know?
I mean, fans were excited for Licklider when he came here. Fans are always excited when there's change. The key is you got to sustain it. You got to win. And Licklider didn't win. He saw how quickly fans turned on
Wisconsin fans were excited for Fickle too.
Yeah, and now he's back for another year.
We'll see.
Well, they've already. I know they've already announced it. What's that?
Yeah, I think Ben's done a good thing because, one of the first things he did was try to get the student body involved, and get out there and kind of I don't want to say rah with the student body, but get the excitement from them, and try to get that seating taken care of. Like you mentioned the other night of, don't be a spectator. And I think that's the thing of trying to change too, because we've seen them. There's those people that go there and they knit, or they're reading a book and they're yelling at people to sit down, and it's like, get off your butts and cheer.
In fairness to Fran, Bid also has an AD that's doing that. Gary Barta had no interest in.
I saw Gary Barta yesterday.
I see him all the time at the games.
Enough.
But Gary was never interested in moving the students closer. It just was not something we asked him about it on here. It just wasn't a priority for him. So that's beneficial for Ben, and I think that was probably part of the discussion when they were going over the job interview. Ben's like, hey, you got to get these students closer. We got to get them more engaged. And I think you're seeing that.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be a good year. As far as the recruiting, when it comes to on the women's side, I can speak of that. Haven't done it the last 8 years. You think you could have a kid down to a lock and have her, as far as committed, and the last second you never know. And now with NIL, it's completely different too. Even on the women's side, it's completely different. So, I mean, I think recruiting is still a crapshoot at times, and you just got to keep working it. The one thing, Kansas does have Morgan Page, an Iowa girl there as an assistant, and so that's how they were able to get in on the Xavier girl last year, and get her to go down there. So I think that's a benefit for them. So it's always interesting with recruiting.
Yeah.
You're dealing with 17, 18-year-old young females who are trying to figure out their life and where they're going for the next, I want to say 4 years, but now it's probably maybe the next 1 year or 2 years, never knowing with NIL and transfers.
Yep.
But it's a crapshoot, and you're relying. I mean, think about it. College sports. Your industry is relying on 18 to 22-year-olds producing and putting a winning product out there for a coach to be able to keep their job.
That's what it is. Man, appreciate the call.
Yeah, thank you.
No, he's right. I mean, recruiting's very unpredictable. I think there's way too much coverage of it now. It's just too much. I mean, sometimes you can drive people away from too much, which is kind of you're an example of that. I used to cover a ton of recruiting back in the 90s. Now I pay, like Rob Howe, to do football recruiting and some basketball recruiting. And so we'll see. I mean, I think this 5-star run now, the only way that is going to keep up, eventually the Caitlin buzz is going to wear off and just be gone. They got to win. They got to keep winning.
It.
Yeah, they got to. They can't just. Well, Caitlin played her 7 years ago. I want to go to Iowa. No, they got to win. Last year, 23-11, that was enough. Now, this year, you don't want to be worse than that. You got to keep building on that if you're going to keep staying in touch with these 5-stars. Now, the risk with staying in touch with 5-stars is others. I've read a lot. Well, obviously Notre Dame paid her. Notre Dame's a good school, people, with a really good basketball. There are other good options besides Iowa. I think sometimes you have to remind yourself of that.
Notre Dame's talent's been
they got handed the dog
higher than ours the last few
years.
Notre
Dame's won a national title in women's basketball. They have a really good program. So
they put three players in the WNBA.
There are other options out there, is all I'm saying. I think it's incredible that Iowa is in on all these girls. Jenica Lewis, I didn't see her in Iowa State in her Final Four.
No.
And Iowa State's a good program.
Yeah.
God, Addie Crooks the other night, what she had, like 29 and 14? She's just so consistent.
She is. She's a unicorn.
She really is. I mean,
how do you stop her?
It's interesting. She's so different than Ava Hayden. That's going to be a fascinating matchup.
Yeah, it is.
Because she's going to have trouble keeping up with Ava, and Ava's going to run her, I think. Ava's going to run her.
That's going to be the idea.
That's what you do.
But unfortunately, Ava's still a little bit foul prone.
She is, and I could see Audie getting Ada in fouls. Audie's really good with pump fakes.
Yep.
She's great at giving leverage around the basket, and she knows how to use her size.
She does.
She's very skilled, and it's neat seeing a player, whether she's at Iowa, homegrown. She's from Algona, but no, it's going to be interesting to see. This is both teams. I mean, I'm not ready to say I think that both teams are going to make the NCAA tournament just lock. I need to see more. I think the women probably are in a little better position just because we know a little bit more about them. I mean, so we'll see. But Iowa, you got to keep Bennett Sturts healthy, and they know that. Yeah. I mean, that's no rocket science.
Well, but the women, they got to keep Chit Chat healthy too.
I think they do, and
she's cramped
up.
If
she's out for any extended period of time, I think Stremlow. I think it would come down to Stremlo and maybe Addie Deal. I'm trying to think. Kylie Fearback's not a point guard.
No. So now, Callie Levine, is she just not even in the discussion?
Well, she's a point guard, but she doesn't look like she's in the rotation discussion at all right now. But she can play point guard. Now, if they did lose, that would maybe move her up to maybe where she is in the rotation. And, well, they've also got Kenise Johnson.
She must. Did you see that cast on her leg, though? It is all the way up her leg.
Yeah, I mean, she's dressed. It looks like she's been cleared to play. Now, she's a point guard.
She is.
But I think she's so far down in the rotation that she's not a factor. Let's just hope nobody gets hurt. I mean, I know that's kind of Pollyanna, but hopefully nobody gets hurt. What do you think, Captain?
For sure.
You don't want anyone to get hurt, do you?
I don't want anyone to get hurt.
Physically or emotionally? Well, you don't care about emotionally, do you?
Well, I'm emotional.
Are you an emotional wreck right now?
I am a wreck.
I just wish the weather.
Really am a wreck.
I just wish this weather today would last.
Well,
it ain't gonna.
So, but isn't it back into the 60s next week? I thought I heard
50s.
And guys, then we're halfway through November.
Yeah.
So 50s all through the week, pretty much.
Well, yeah.
Incredible. Yeah. So we don't really have much.
The only really horrible day is tomorrow.
Yeah. What's Sunday like?
Mid-30s and sunny.
Okay.
So I mean, chilly but nice.
Yeah, and I don't really think either team has the advantage. Like I said, part of the reason I picked Iowa too is because it's here. If this game was in Eugene, I'd pick Oregon.
Yeah.
I'd pick them to win probably 24-13. Something. But I think being here, and I do think Iowa's offensive line is playing pretty well right now. If they can just stay ahead of the chains. Again, the difference in this game is going to be 2nd and 2 as opposed to 2nd and 8. And if they're running the ball and they got 2nd and 2 and 2nd and 3, they're going to win. Now, that may not happen, and I may be wrong again. So we'll see.
We'll see.
I've had most of my picks have been, I picked them to lose to Iowa State, which they did. I picked them to beat Indiana. I thought they were going to upset them. So,
and then they almost did.
And then the other ones are easy. I mean, the Albany and all that stuff. So I'm trying to think of who else. I picked them to beat Rutgers. I mean, because now we look, Rutgers is not very good.
No.
They're not. And I picked them to beat Minnesota, and Minnesota's okay. Minnesota's your typical Big Ten 7-5, 8-4 type Minnesota team.
Yep.
He's had a lot of those up there, but you can tell their fans are like, hey, when are we going to take that next jump? They haven't really. They won 11 games one time, but they really haven't taken that next jump. And part of that's beating Iowa.
Yeah.
And he can't do it.
He's only done it once, and he had to have help.
Yeah. They cheated. Invalid fair catch.
Cheated.
Yeah, they cheated, Captain.
Cheaters. Yeah.
I heard you guys when I was driving in, what's going on with that FBI probe? What's the news update? Because everything you read wasn't new, but I missed the beginning of the news report. What's the news peg? Now, the gambling stuff from 2 years ago. The Register had some story?
They're saying they go along, that they're going to let it go. They're going to keep it up. They wanted it dismissed, and they're not dismissing it.
Oh, okay. So there was nothing. No, I thought maybe they had decided on something. So okay,
no, they decided they're not dismissing it.
Well, who wanted it dismissed? The people accused
players. Yes.
You mean? Wait, I'm confused.
Or the
why would the players?
No, the people. The gamblers. The people that gambled. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the FBI probe. You guys had a news report. Not FBI. Where the Iowa athletes and Iowa State athletes got suspended. You guys had some news report. But
yeah, they wanted.
Why would the athletes want the probe to continue?
They don't want the probe.
Well, you just
to
said
continue.
They did.
No, the court says the probe is going to continue.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because the athletes would like it to go away. I'm sure.
That's what they wanted.
Yeah, and
to go away.
And I don't really know what...
You're confusing me.
What was the court's logic? Because didn't they already reveal that it was an unlawful search and seizure?
Yeah, it is, but they still did something they shouldn't do.
Well, yeah, they were all suspended and lost their college careers.
Yeah.
What more do they want?
Yeah.
I'm just not... It just seems weird. They already paid a heavy price. And I'm hearing that a lot of them are going to sue.
Well, some of them are already suing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay, so interesting, because I just think the whole thing seemed a little, the fact that they gained access to personal records without,
they said they shouldn't have done that, but.
They were still breaking the law.
They were still breaking the law.
Yeah, which, I mean, I do see that. It's just weird, though, why just Iowa and Iowa State?
The Judas Priest verdict.
But it's the fact that it just wasn't done anywhere else, to me, takes away some of the validity of this. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
this just looked like a
lot
witch
of
hunt.
it.
Yes, exactly.
It is an absolute witch hunt. It wasn't done at Grassley School, you and I.
I love my beloved Drake Bulldogs, but you don't think there's anyone down there gambling?
No, this is a bunch of crap.
You and
that
I?
was instigated through the governor's office to breed a bird. This is a bunch of crap to put the libs in their place.
But there were a lot of conservatives that were impacted by this.
They don't. It was Johnson County. It was Story County.
To be honest with you, I thought that thing had kind of moved on. I didn't realize it was still out there. So it's going to be. But yeah, the whole thing was unfortunate. Of course, they were. I get it. They were illegal gambling, but
to center it on two
schools, that doesn't make sense. To me.
Makes no sense whatsoever.
No, it looked like a witch hunt.
Which is what it was.
Listen, if it looks like that, it is.
And a lot of these athletes paid heavy prices. Think about it. Think about like Arlen Bruce.
Yeah, they got screwed.
Their careers are over.
Yeah.
Think about Hunter Deckers, the quarterback at Iowa State. They paid heavy prices for this. So yes, they did commit a wrongdoing, but they've been already penalized. That's all. I just don't get it. It seems like witch hunt and almost overkill.
Yeah,
that's my 2 cents.
Well, sometimes witch hunt ain't a witch hunt, but this time it is.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I didn't realize because I think you guys were reading a story that was in the Register.
Yeah.
So I'll have to go check it out. And God, it's already almost 10:30.
Yeah. Well, having Adam on for a half an hour moves things along.
We had him on a little longer than that.
Register also got that woman that did the poll. That was dropped? The lawsuit against...
Wasn't Trump suing her?
Yeah.
So they got dropped?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dropped.
And the sandwich guy survived.
Yeah. The sandwich guy. The guy got up in court, the ICE guy, and goes, the sandwich exploded all over me. I was covered with mushrooms and onions and then they showed a video.
But wasn't it a Subway sandwich?
Yeah, and it's wrapped.
Subway doesn't have much.
And it didn't do anything.
And Subway doesn't have mushrooms.
It hit its bulletproof vest.
But Subway doesn't have mushrooms. At least the one here doesn't have mushrooms.
It hit its bulletproof vest and dropped to the ground.
The whole thing was ridiculous.
They just threw it out of court. So
I saw him, the guy.
Seriously, though, those are good sandwiches.
Subway? No, they've gotten better.
Yes. Yeah, no, I go to Subway a lot.
So why?
I do too.
But they don't have. They said it was a salami. They don't have salami. So do Subways all have different meats?
I don't know.
I thought they was all universal. They said it was a salami, or maybe they were just saying that on the news. They said it was his salami sandwich, and I don't believe Subway has salami.
No, salami is though a harder meat.
Or mushrooms. This whole thing looks like a giant conspiracy. It's rigged. Whole thing it's a hoax.
You know, I like Jimmy John's. I think has come up to because they've got an 8-inch sub.
Yeah,
6-inch to me is not enough.
I could see that if you're really hungry.
Too much.
But there's also what I used to like about Melio's. They had those little 4-inch subs. They'd give you a little combo meal for like $5, a bat and a bag of chips and a drink and a little sub. And Subway, what they do is they take a 6-inch and they cut the end off and it becomes a child sandwich for like $3. They just cut a piece of the bread off at the end. So you're basically getting the same amount of meat. You're just not getting as much bread, which is not a bad idea. What do you got, Tommy?
I think you would have liked this. You should look for this. It was last night on Colbert. He did CSI Sandwich, and the forensics test was taking one of those T-shirt cannons, stuffing a footlong in it, and shooting it at a mannequin. And it was great.
What kind of sandwich was it?
He didn't say. It didn't explode. It just hit the guy in the chest, hit the mannequin in the chest.
Okay. All right.
Jesus.
That was a major news.
You wonder why this nation's going to hell?
That was a major news story yesterday. The sandwich guy. I just liked him.
To go to court over some guy hitting you with a sandwich.
And when
you're wearing Kevlar.
The defendant, after he'd been acquitted, he gave a press conference where he's thanking, all the pro bono God. It was just hilarious.
But have you seen people are displaying in sporting events? They're displaying like these mannequins throwing a sandwich, like they're throwing a football.
It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, completely.
Yep. Okay.
Now
well,
I want a sandwich.
I'm just checking weather reports, see if it changed at all.
we're 28 hours till kickoff. 28 hours, Captain.
I predict
43 at kickoff.
I
gotten 4
predict
degrees
this will
colder.
be a monsoon.
Yesterday, when we looked that up Wednesday, it was going to be 47 on kickoff.
Yeah.
It's already dropped 4 degrees. By tomorrow noon, it's going to be like 9. And we're going to have like frozen ice.
A foot of snow.
Foot of snow. You guys are all going to be stranded at Kinnick for like the weekend. Can't get out of there.
Hey, those Wimmer's hot dogs, yum.
Those are good hot dogs.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Terrible.
Have you had a Wimmer's hot dog?
Yes.
And you didn't like it?
No,
You know what
My
Hy-Vee-
son got a Hy-Vee in Davenport, and he brought them down, and they were
You know what Hy-Vee had yesterday? You get a bowl of chili and a cinnamon roll for $3.
Yeah.
I did. I'm like, how do you beat that?
Well, they're doing it.
It's part of the kids thing, and kids can eat free. And
Yeah.
the day before, they did chicken and noodles with a thing of mashed potatoes and gravy for $3. No,
I would have liked that.
Yeah,
Actually, our neighbor Anita brought me some chicken and noodles. It was good.
the problem with the cinnamon rolls, when you eat one, you know what you want?
18.
Another one. Yeah, I want.
What, like
and it was
18?
not a massive one. I could have
No.
eaten another 10.
No,
cinnamon
well,
rolls.
Burger King's got those mini cinnamon.
Yeah.
You can't just
can't.
eat one.
I haven't been to a Burger King
or
in a while.
6 or 12.
have
They're
not,
damn good.
have not been to a Burger King in a while.
I like Burger King.
Oh, I love the Whopper. I just haven't had one. Whopper with just onion and cheese. Try it sometime. It's good. Plain Whopper. It's not bad.
Don't like onions.
Oh, yeah, you don't like onions. See, I love
Just
onions.
get it
on
with cheese.
I love onions and tomato on a burger.
Oh, straight off the grill, meat and cheese is delicious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Kind of
good.
soak the bun in there. No, it's good. No, I'm really hungry.
Yum, yum, yum.
I'm hungry.
Well, then we
But yeah, we got Iowa men's basketball tonight at 6. Thank God it's at 6 and not 7:30 or 8. I think that'll help with the attendance. Getting there is going to be maybe an issue, but it just means you have to wait a little.
What is it on?
It's the boys on BTN Plus.
BTN Plus, and I think that may help them get more fans because a lot of people don't have BTN Plus. Me including. So
It'll help some.
yeah. So I've just been told that they expect to have a pretty good crowd again tomorrow or tonight, and then of course the big game tomorrow, 2:30. Really looking forward to it. This is a lot of excitement surrounding this game, and hopefully the Hawks can pull it out.
Let's hope so.
All righty.
All right.
This was a wonderful show.
All right, we got cops coming up next. Police reports with Captain Steve and Tommy Lang reporting on the latest sandwich abomination. Thanks to Adam Haluska for joining us this morning, and HawkFanatic.com. Check it out. It's free.